What's up, guys? So Webtoon always has a top 5 most popular series list on their app, and for a while now the top 4 have always been in some order: True Beauty, Let's Play, Unordinary, and Lore Olympus. And the 5th one kind of fluctuates. I'm just gonna do a quick spoiler-free review of those 4, and I was just gonna recommend a Webtoon instead of doing a review for number 5, since it fluctuates. Alright, so let's get right into it. Spot, I'm gonna be recommending a Webtoon that should be at the 5th spot, and that manhwa is Lookism. Lookism is fire, man. Lookism is straight fire. It's actually currently number 3 on the top drama webcomics list, but it's not really a drama so much as it's a combination of drama, but also comedy, thriller, and action. I think like it's one of the most addicting webcomics, especially if you're Korean. It's gonna hit different because they make a lot of allusions to like real world like Korean events and just Korean culture in general. Quick synopsis: so it's basically about this unattractive dude who all of a sudden something happens to him. It's hard to do this without giving anything away, but basically once that thing happens to him, he just goes on like just a series of just crazy stuff. Starts off small scale, but then it gets bigger and bigger, and now it's escalated into like a bunch of whole bunch of action, a lot of gang violence, a lot of brutality. I like it. Give it a read and see how you like it. Next up is True Beauty. So True Beauty, I think, is probably what every girl that has the Webtoon app is subscribed to. If I check, it's at 4.4 million subscribers, the webcomic. The webcomic's also pretty well known in Korea too. So I read the first dozen chapters, and I think the story is definitely good enough, but it's for sure geared towards a more female audience. And I don't know, like there was a lot of makeup terminology, and I just it all went over my head. I had no idea what was going on. But I think if you are a girl, you're probably already reading this on Webtoon. For the guys, if you don't know about it, I mean, I guess test out the first dozen and see if you're into that stuff. But I think in general, guys will just end up confused like I am. But I guess try it out if you want. But I get the premise and it's interesting, and I can see why basically every girl on this app likes it. Alright, so number 3 is Let's Play. I just realized 7 out of the top 10 are always some kind of romance webcomic. But Let's Play, unlike True Beauty, I found that it can appeal to a lot of male viewers as well, not just female viewers. And that's just because it makes a lot of video game references and stuff about video game designing, and it's just really interesting. Not to mention, some of the main characters are guys. You feel sort of a connection with them. So I'm all caught up on that comic. It's really good. One of the main characters is also a YouTuber, and me having the millions of subscribers that I have, I think it's interesting just to read about that stuff. And yeah, if you like video games, man, I think it's a really good comic. Fun to read, and it's a romance for dudes and girls. I think out of the top 5, Let's Play probably has my favorite art style, to be honest. So Unordinary is also one of the other absurdly popular webcomics. I'm all caught up on it now, and if I had to describe it with one word, it's pretty edgy. The genre is superhero, and you might be thinking who doesn't like a good superhero webcomic? But then upon reading it, I found it was a lot edgier than I expected. It's not really your typical sparkly superhero save the world kind of thing. It's really real world, and it's the fight scenes can get pretty brutal, and yeah, it's just edgy in general. I think it talks a lot about hierarchy and society. Pretty interesting, power corruption and stuff like that. It has a super loyal following, but I think honestly this is the Webtoon that most people start with anyway, so I don't even know why I'm reviewing it, because this is usually just the first one that everyone reads. I guess quick side note, it would be interesting to see this one get animated, just because it's a lot edgier than shows like My Hero Academia and stuff like that. And I'd be interested to see how the community reacts to this edgy superhero story. Lastly, we got Lore Olympus. I swear this one's been number 1 for forever now. When it's just talked about mythology stuff, I was like, oh yeah, Greek gods and heroes, that sounds cool. I've always been into that. It's a story that kind of explores the theme of if the Greek gods were kind of normal people with jobs, just duties. It's basically a real world version of what the Greek gods would be if they lived in our world. Does that make sense? It's centered around Persephone and Hades. There are 2 main characters and their romance. Definitely for a mature audience. If you like mythology, check it out. I'm pretty sure you checked this one out already just because it's been number 1 for such a long time. But yeah, I'm interested to see if new Webtoons will ever take away the big 4 that are always dominating the top 5. I think I'm gonna make a different video about webtoons that are like underrated, because you know, like these top 5 everyone knows, and there's a good chance that lots of people seeing this have already read most of them. Also coming soon is a video about solo leveling. Super cool. It's gonna be hype. Stay tuned for that and subscribe if you want. And yeah.